Hey everybody, it's Bill Cecil again with your tip of the day. Hey, today's tip is to motivate your students to go slow and show what they know. In my classroom, I have a sign in my room that says "Speed Kills." It's a construction sign that we have in Michigan that reminds people on the road to go slow so you don't run over the people that are actually working on the roads. So I have this small sign in my room that says "Speed Kills," and I always remind my kids, I'm not impressed with how fast you get things done, I'm impressed with how well you get things done. So what I want to do is to help you motivate your kids to go slow and show what they know, especially when it comes time for like standardized tests like our MEP test or big important tests. For example, here's a great tip. If your kids are taking the MEP test or some other standardized state test, here's what you want to do. When they get done with their test, for example, tell them they cannot work on anything else other than go back over the section that they just did. Obviously, they can't go ahead and look at other sections. They can't go back and look at previous sections. But tell them the only other option they have is to maybe put their head down and kind of rest, or to and not to talk, or to actually go back and look over the work that they've done. It's amazing, because what I had before was I had kids racing through the MEP tests, important tests like this, or other important tests that I give throughout the year, just so they could have time to maybe sit there and draw, or that they could maybe work on other work, or they could get out a book and read one of their favorite books. Look, as much as I love kids reading and reading books, I don't want them to rush through important tests just so they can do what they consider the fun reading. In fact, the other day I had a kid during the MEP test actually say to me, she had been sitting there for about 15 minutes with nothing else to do because I told them they could just sit there and put their heads down, but they couldn't talk or make any noise while other kids were going slow and showing what they know on the test. She actually raised her hand and asked me, "Mr. Cecil, can I go back and read some of the stories that we just read in the language arts section?" And I said, "Of course." And actually, that's what she did. She opened up the book, she went back, and I caught her actually rereading what she had read and actually going back over her answers. And that's what you want your kids to do. So don't give them other options. Make them want to go slow because they know that they're just going to be sitting there while they're waiting for other kids to get done with the test. It will motivate them maybe to go slow and go back over their work. Give this a shot. It will make a difference, believe me, and it could really help to improve your kids' MEP scores or other scores on important tests that you're giving. Encourage them to go slow and show what they know. In fact, I even walk around the room and make sure that they're not picking up their pencil and doodling on the test booklet because they're allowed to write on our test booklet, or that they're sitting there doing something else they shouldn't be doing. I'll just remind them, hey, remember, you just got to sit there, no talking, or put your head down, or you can go back and look over the part that you just did. Many times that's what they're doing. In fact, I found that my kids are actually slowing down because they're in no rush to get done because they know they're just going to be sitting there and getting bored. Give this a shot. It will make a difference. Remember, motivate your kids to go slow and show what they know, and I think you'll see the benefit of it. Hey, and remember, best year ever. You have the power to make it happen.